Pope Francis meets the international media for the first time since his election, and Zimbabwe holds a constitutional referendum limiting the president's terms. I'm David Byrd in Washington. Newly elected Pope Francis I says that he would like a church for the poor. As VOA's Al Pessin reports, that statement is the first indication of the kind of Roman Catholic Church the new pontiff wants to lead.
Let me tell you a story, he said, and then pulled back some of the veil of secrecy that surrounded the conclave that elected him on Wednesday. The Pope said as the vote counting indicated he was close to being elected Pope, his friend and fellow Cardinal Claudio Hummes of Brazil embraced him and told him not to forget the poor. That made him think of St Francis of Assisi. He went on to make the most quoted comment of the day.
Come vorrei una chiesa povera.
Pope Francis said St. Francis wanted a poor church, and that's what he wants too. Pope Francis has not made any direct comments on the church's scandals, but many of the faithful hope he will tackle them head-on. Al Pessin, VOA News, Vatican City.
For more on this story, be sure to log on to our website, voanews.com. Zimbabweans went to the polls Saturday to vote on a referendum for a new constitution that would limit the terms of their president for the first time in the country's history. The proposed constitution would allow presidents to serve only 2 5-year terms. Current President Robert Mugabe said the agreement will help bring peace to the country.
We want peace in the country. Peace, 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 peace. It must begin with Robert Mugabe.
Mugabe's main rival and Prime Minister Morgan Tsvangirai said the new constitution will provide proper checks and balances in the government.
This is a new political dispensation, and I hope it sets in a new political culture, from the culture of impunity to the culture of constitutionalism.
Both men support the draft constitution, so it is expected to be approved. Authorities say they expect the official results of the referendum within 5 days. Kenya's defeated presidential contender Raila Odinga has filed a legal challenge to his election loss last week. Mr. Odinga filed the challenge Saturday in Nairobi at the Supreme Court.
I have repeatedly indicated my commitment to respect and abide by the Supreme Court ruling. I invite my brother, Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, to publicly do the same.
The Election Commission declared Uhuru Kenyatta the winner of the election with 50.07% of the vote. That was just enough to avoid a runoff. Mr. Odinga has refused to accept the official election results, saying that fraud was committed during the vote counting. U.S. President Barack Obama says the only way to break the cycle of spiking gas prices is to shift cars and trucks off oil for good. The president said in his weekly radio address Saturday that oil and gas revenues from public lands could supply the money for the research without adding a dime to the deficit. Mr. Obama said that high gas prices have hurt Americans each year.
We went through another spike in gas prices, just like last year and the year before that. It happens every year. It's a serious blow to your budget, like getting hit with a new tax coming right out of your pocket.
In the Republican address, House of Representatives Budget Committee Chairman Paul Ryan, who was a vice presidential candidate for the Republicans last year, said that his party has a plan to balance the federal budget in 10 years by cutting spending and not raising taxes. A reminder, President Obama's upcoming trip to the Middle East next week is previewed in a VOA Presents special report. It will be broadcast here and streamed on the VOA website Sunday at 6 hours Universal Time. It can be listened to at any time by visiting our website at voanews.com. 3 astronauts, including American Kevin Ford, have returned safely to Earth from the International Space Station. Ford and his Russian counterparts, Oleg Novitsky and Yevgeny Terelkin, landed safely Saturday morning in a Russian Soyuz capsule on the snow-covered steppes of Kazakhstan. They had spent 144 days on the International Space Station. The capsule was scheduled to land on Friday, but bad weather delayed the landing.